Dear students, last time we have seen what is solid extraction and we have derived an expression for amount of solute remaining unextracted after n extractions. Let us see today another important application of distribution law in determining equilibrium constant of certain chemical reactions. Let us see at first what is equilibrium constant of a chemical reaction with one simple example of a complexation reaction taking place between potassium iodide and iodine and giving potassium triiodide in aqueous medium. The complexation reaction, this complexation reaction taking place between potassium iodide and iodine and giving potassium triiodide is a typical example of complexation reaction. Let us see it at first. So Ki, potassium iodide plus I2 iodine in equilibrium with Ki3 aqueous. So this is what the complex formation reaction, a typical complex formation reaction between these two reactors Ki and iodine and giving potassium triiodide complex. Now when we apply law of mass action to this reversible reaction, we will get K C is equal to concentration of Ki3 upon concentration of Ki into concentration of I2. When we look at this expression, we will see that the equilibrium constant of this reaction Kc is equal to molar concentration of product potassium triiodide in this case divided by unreacted or free or uncombined potassium iodide and the free or uncombined iodine at equilibrium gives us what? The equilibrium constant of this reaction. So the equilibrium constant of this reaction is given by this expression. This expression clearly indicates that Kc, what is Kc? The equilibrium constant of this reaction. The equilibrium constant of this reaction is denoted by Kc. And Kc is given by this expression where Ki3 in square bracket represents the molar concentration of potassium triiodide complex at equilibrium. Ki in square bracket represents molar concentration of free or uncombined Ki at equilibrium. And I2 in square bracket represents the molar concentration of uncombined or rather free iodine present in that reaction mixture at equilibrium. So in this way we have seen when we want to find out equilibrium constant of this reaction, what we need? We need the concentration of product, that is potassium triiodide in this case, and the concentrations of the reactants taking part in this reaction at equilibrium. So once we know this, what the concentration of the product formed at equilibrium, the concentration of unreacted reactants, in this case potassium iodide and iodine we get very easily what the equilibrium constant of this reaction Kc. With this, I am sure you have understood what is equilibrium constant of the reaction. Like complexation reaction, a typical complexation reaction taking place in this case between potassium iodide and iodine in aqueous medium. With this, let us switch over to the determination of equilibrium constant of this complex formation reaction from partition coefficient. The determination of equilibrium constant of any reaction, either complexation reaction or hydrolysis or some other reactions, what is essential? The essential condition for determining equilibrium constant of any chemical reaction using partition coefficient is that the one of the reactant or product must be soluble in what the pair of immiscible solvents used for what extracting or used in that particular case. So here in this case, iodine, one of the reactant, is soluble in water and solvents immiscible with water like that of carbon disulfide or carbon bisulfide, carbon tetrachloride or benzene, and hence we can determine equilibrium constant of this reaction using a pair of immiscible solvents like benzene and water or carbon disulfide and water and or carbon tetrachloride and water. So let us see how can we determine equilibrium constant of this reaction using carbon disulfide and water. The determination of equilibrium constant of this complex formation reaction using partition coefficient or distribution coefficient involves two steps. The first and most important step is determination of partition coefficient of iodine, determination of partition coefficient of iodine between CS2 and H2O. CS2 and water at certain temperature, let us suppose at 298 Kelvin. We know how can we determine equilibrium constant of, or sorry, the partition coefficient of any solute in between a pair of immiscible solvents. We know we can determine partition coefficient of any solute between a pair of immiscible solvents very easily. How? Carrying out the distribution of solute between the pair of immiscible solvents at certain temperature. So in this case, we can very easily determine partition coefficient of iodine between CS2 and water, seeking solution of iodine in carbon disulfide and shaking it with water in a separating funnel for sufficient time and determining the equilibrium concentrations of the iodine in respective layers. That is, the concentration of iodine in carbon disulfide and the concentration of iodine in water, titrating the respective layers against standard sodium thiosulfate solution. So, in this way, we can determine the concentration of iodine solute, one of the reactant in this particular case, soluble in both the solvents, carbon disulfide and water. And simply taking what the ratio of concentration of iodine in water to the concentration of iodine in carbon disulfide gives us what? The partition coefficient of iodine between carbon disulfide and water. So let us suppose K represents the partition coefficient of iodine between water and carbon disulfide, and the concentration of iodine in water is I2H2O, and the concentration of iodine in CS2 is I2CS2. So here K represents the partition coefficient or distribution coefficient or partition constant or distribution constant of iodine between water and carbon disulfide. So this is what the first step in determining equilibrium constant of complexation reaction between potassium iodide and iodine, giving potassium triiodide complex in aqueous medium. With this, let us switch over to the next step, and the next step is determination of equilibrium constant from partition coefficient. Determination of equilibrium constant from partition coefficient. Let us suppose we have taken iodine solution of certain concentration in a separating funnel and mixed it with aqueous potassium iodide solution of certain concentration. Okay, listen carefully. Let us suppose in step 2 what we did. In step 2 we have taken iodine solution in carbon disulfide, and the concentration of iodine in carbon disulfide is X moles per liter, and we have taken that iodine solution in a separating funnel and mixed with what? Aqueous potassium iodide solution, and the concentration of potassium iodide in water is A moles per liter. Let initial concentration of iodine in CS2 is X moles per liter, and initial concentration of Ki in water, potassium iodide in H2O is 8 moles per liter. Okay, let us suppose we have taken these two solutions, iodine in CS2 and potassium iodide in H2O, of course, of certain concentrations, vigorously for an hour at 298 degrees centigrade. So what will happen? Iodine, in this case, one of the reactant, distribute between two immiscible solvents, carbon disulfide and water, and whatever iodine goes in aqueous solution, most of the iodine molecules reacts with Ki in aqueous layer and gives this complexation reaction. Ki3. In this way, the concentration of iodine, or rather the concentration of total iodine in aqueous layer, will be much higher than the concentration of iodine when we determine partition coefficient of iodine between carbon disulfide and water. Because in step 2, what we did, we have taken aqueous solution of Ki, and that aqueous solution of Ki forms this complex or interaction with iodine, and therefore the concentration of iodine, or rather the concentration of total iodine in aqueous layer in this case is much higher than the concentration of iodine in step 1. Okay, so let us see here the equilibriums existing in the two layers, that is organic layer and aqueous layer, with the help of simple diagram. Let us draw that diagram here. Aqueous layer, H2O layer, here it is CS2 layer, and iodine, I2, plus Ki gives iodine plus Ki in equilibrium with Ki3. Okay, so look at this. Such type of two equilibriums exist in this case in an aqueous solution, H2O layer, or aqueous layer, iodine. Most of the iodine reacts with Ki and gives potassium triiodide complex. And in CS2 layer, I2 is present as I2. With this, let us see the concentrations of the free or uncombined iodine in aqueous layer, the concentration of free or uncombined potassium iodide in aqueous layer, and the concentration of combined or the concentration of complex potassium triiodide in aqueous layer. Because we know when we want to calculate the equilibrium constant of complexation reaction taking place between iodine and Ki giving potassium triiodide, we must know the concentration of the complex potassium triiodide at equilibrium. We must know the concentration of free or uncombined iodine at equilibrium and the concentration of free or uncombined potassium iodide at equilibrium. So let us see how can we calculate the concentration of these chemical species, free iodine, free Ki and potassium triiodide complex at equilibrium. Let us suppose we have seen how the concentration of iodine, or rather the total iodine in aqueous layer increases to a very large extent due to complex formation between iodine and potassium iodide. So the concentration of iodine in aqueous layer will be much higher due to formation of the complex potassium triiodide. Let us suppose the concentration of complex Ki3, let concentration of complex Ki3 is B moles per liter. Evidently, the concentration of iodine in organic layer, that is the concentration of iodine in carbon disulfide, will be lower, and the concentration of iodine in CS2 will be equal to X minus B moles per liter. So what is X minus B? X minus B will be equal to the concentration of iodine in CS2 layer. Once we know this, once we understood this, let us see how can we find out the concentration of free iodine in aqueous layer. The concentration of free iodine in aqueous layer will be obtained from partition coefficient of iodine between CS2 and H2O. So the concentration of free iodine, concentration of free free iodine, free I2 in aqueous layer, in rather water, is equal to K into concentration of iodine in CS2. And what is concentration of iodine in CS2? We have seen the concentration of iodine in carbon disulfide in this case is equal to X minus B. So the concentration of free iodine in water at equilibrium is equal to K into X minus B moles per liter. Got it? Okay, and let us suppose this is equal to what? D moles per liter. D moles per liter. Now, the concentration of potassium triiodide complex yet to be calculated. We know what the concentration of free iodine or the concentration of iodine in CS2 layer, the concentration of free iodine in water. So, using these quantities and the concentration of the complex B, we can very easily find out what the concentration of potassium triiodide complex, and the concentration of potassium triiodide complex will be equal to what? B minus D moles per liter, because we know B minus D moles of iodine combines with B minus D moles of iodide ions and gives B minus D moles of potassium triiodide in aqueous medium, and therefore the concentration of complex Ki3 here is equal to B minus D moles per liter. Now, when we look at all these expressions, we will see that we know now what the concentration of free iodine in aqueous layer, and which is equal to D moles per liter. Concentration of the complex Ki3 at equilibrium is B minus D moles per liter. Now, once we know this, we can very easily calculate what the concentration of free potassium iodide at equilibrium, because we know the initial concentration of potassium iodide in aqueous solution, and the initial concentration of potassium iodide in aqueous solution is in this case A moles per liter. So the concentration of free Ki, free potassium iodide at equilibrium will be equal to A minus B minus D moles per liter. Now, when we look at all these quantities, we will find that we know now what the concentrations of all these species needed for calculating equilibrium constant of the reaction. And what is that? The concentration of free Ki, concentration of free iodine, and the concentration of complex at equilibrium. Once we know this, we can very easily calculate what the concentration of the numerical value of equilibrium constant of the complexation reaction. So here the concentration of free iodine in water is equal to d moles per liter. Concentration of complex potassium triiodide at equilibrium is equal to B minus D moles per liter, and the concentration of free Ki, is equal to A minus in bracket B minus D moles per liter. So let us substitute these values in the expression for equilibrium constant of the complex, and the expression for equilibrium constant of the complex is Kc is equal to concentration of complex potassium triiodide at equilibrium divided by concentration of free iodine into concentration of free Ki, or concentration of Ki, of course free Ki into concentration of free iodine is equal to, what is concentration of potassium triiodide complex? The concentration of potassium triiodide complex in this case is equal to B minus D moles per liter. The concentration of free Ki is A minus B minus D moles per liter, and the concentration of free iodine in water is equal to D moles per liter. D moles per liter. So look at this expression. Last expression. Kc is equal to B minus D moles per liter divided by A minus B minus D moles per liter into D moles per liter. In this way, we have seen how can we determine equilibrium constant of the reaction, like this complex formation reaction between potassium iodide and iodine, and giving potassium triiodide complex in aqueous medium. With this, I stop here. Next time we will see one numerical problem based on this determination. With this, I stop here. Thank you very much for listening carefully.